Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session. We will be talking about the Archangel Uriel. And for some of us who have already done the meditation before, we know what Archangel Uriel does. So, this series is basically designed to help us to remember the function that each angel can help us with, that each archangel can help us with, so that even in our daily lives, whenever we are doing something, instead of getting flustered or getting frustrated, we just know which archangel to call and we can do that. Okay, so we'll start with that. Okay, so Archangel Uriel. So Archangel Uriel is the one who is also the one who gives us guidance. Okay, so in Acharya Nona's meditation, she talks about the four archangels, and we will be talking about Archangel Uriel today. So Archangel Uriel is basically the one who gives us guidance. Now, some of you have also been asking about the meditation, where you can get the meditation. So the meditation, I think, is available with the Foundation of South America and Canada. These are the two countries, as far as I know, that Master Nona is handling. So if you look at one of those websites, you may be able to order the meditation from there. Okay. Okay, so what does Archangel Uriel do? Archangel Uriel, according to this, and also a lot of this information is from Wikipedia. So the idea basically is to pull everything together and to share it with the group in such a way so that whenever we are faced with a situation, we are not thinking of what to do. We can just, um, you know, ask Archangel Uriel for advice. Now, in this context, there's one more thing I wanted to say, which is that Archangel Uriel is responsible for advice. Now, how many of us tend to ask the person who we love most for advice on mostly everything? Yeah. It's like, because this person loves me, I'm just going to ask this person for advice. Now, one thing that is my personal experience is that over time, what I've realized is that for different aspects of life, it is a good idea to have different advisors, which means that if I want help with, let's say, finances, then there is one person who advises me. If I want help with relationships, I want somebody who has good relationships to advise me. If I want help with bringing up my children, then I want to ask those people whose children I feel are well brought up, or whose children, it's like I want my children to grow up like their children. So now, of course, that doesn't mean that we will be able to execute everything that they suggest. But my idea basically is that I've seen a lot of people asking advice, I don't know, to your real estate broker for how to bring up your children. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you're that friendly with your real estate broker. And I'm sure your real estate broker has good children. But the point is that, slowly in life, I think it's important to develop the right advisors. Now, the question is, how do you find these right advisors, right? So let's talk about how Archangel Uriel talks to us about this. So Archangel Uriel is responsible for helping us discover God's wisdom. Now, Archangel Uriel specializes in helping people discover God's wisdom. Uriel may be visiting you when you gain some new insights about the best decisions to make in various situations. This is what believers say. And again, this information is from Wikipedia for the most part. And if I'm making a mistake in that, I'm sorry. So, I feel that there are five aspects of life, and there may be more, but there's finances, relationships, health, spirituality, and other things. Okay, so what I mean by other things is anything else that we want to work on. So it's a good idea to have different advisors for these. And in case we haven't developed different advisors for these, one thing also we can do is, of course, to invoke to the Archangel Uriel, who will help us to make the best decisions, right? Okay. Now, in his book, or rather in their book, Linda Miller Russo and Peter Miller Russo, also, sorry, there's a typo here. It says, Dreaming with the Archangels. They said, Archangel Uriel will help us focus our consciousness on the eternal presence of the teacher, of the creator, with gratitude. Now, what this basically means is, to me, is that sometimes when we are faced with a situation, we forget to be grateful for the situation. Let's say, for example, if someone is struggling with, let's say, business at this point, then perhaps we forget to be grateful for the fact that we actually have a business, right? Or if we are struggling with our children, then perhaps we struggle with the fact, we forget to be grateful for the fact that we have children. Now, there must be some good qualities in our children, for example, right? Suppose they are at this point, they're teenagers and they don't have a great schedule, or they're little kids and they don't listen and they don't concentrate. Are we still grateful for the fact that our children are healthy, that our children are intelligent, that our children are, still bundles of joy in some way, right? So what I like about this particular, archangel is that we develop an appreciation for life. For example, when the sun rises every morning, are we grateful that the sun is rising? Yeah, so appreciation. So Archangel Uriel helps us to realize the eternal presence of the Creator. Okay. Okay, he's also identified as a cherub and the angel of repentance. He stands at the Garden of Eden with a fiery sword, or as an angel who watches over thunder and terror. So, the way I would like to talk about this is that, let's say, for example, if someone is hurting us, right, then it feels like a sword, no? I mean, like someone's like poking something into us, for example. Or let's say if we are disturbed about something, then we feel like terrorized, or we feel afraid, we feel terror. So to me, Archangel Uriel is the one who, with his fiery sword, can help us watch over the thunder and the terror inside of us. So what do we need to do? Just invoke, just be like, Archangel Uriel, please guide me. Now, of course, Acharya Dona is going to be talking about this, but I found that it really, really helps. Sometimes I suggest to people, why don't you invoke? And they're like, okay, I finished invoking. It's like 2 seconds later, they finished invoking. Now, invocation is not something that we do in a rush. We have to also be aware that these angels are there in their beings, and they're also going to be able to communicate with us in a manner that we can understand, provided we are open to it. So it's also important for us to just be like, okay, Archangel Uriel, please, can you give me a message in a manner that I can understand? So what may happen is that you may hear a song, or you may hear a comment, or you may be sitting at in a restaurant, and somebody randomly on the other table just makes a statement, and that statement enters your head. So just be aware, once you ask a question to the angels, then try to be aware of what the answer also is. Okay, so let's not waste their time. Have you experienced a time when you ask somebody a question, and or when somebody asks you a question, and while you're answering, they're not paying attention? Has that ever happened? Yeah, even if it's a simple thing. So they've asked you something, you're talking, and they're doing something else. So let's not do that. And this is what we do sometimes to people who are around us in physical body. So when we are invoking the angels and we are asking them for help, let's also be respectful of the fact that if they are giving us a communication, or if they're sending us support, then at least let's be aware. Okay. So okay, so the next one is Archangel Uriel is the angel of wisdom and gives people sparks of inspiration and motivation as they seek to live faithful lives. Now, it says that, the reason I have a picture of a church here is, often because the angels are associated with Christianity, but that's not necessarily true, in the sense that in one of our sessions, we talked about the angels in Islam, and we noticed how similar they are. Also, there are Buddhist taras, and also in Hinduism, we have devas. So the idea is that all religions basically have the common understanding that there are these beings in energy form who are there to help us. Okay, so he's also the angel of repentance, which means that if we want to apologize to somebody, then it is, Archangel Uriel who helps us do that. Now, towards the end, there's a slightly stiffer statement where it says that he can also be as pitiless as any demon. So the way I think of this is that if we think of the law of karma, then the law of karma basically is quite precise. So if we have done something to someone, then we can expect that that's going to come back. Now, the only thing that I'm aware of that supersedes the law of karma is the law of forgiveness. So if we forgive or we ask forgiveness, then it helps us to overcome the law of karma. Otherwise, in my understanding, the law of karma is quite precise, which also means that there is no like, please, like, don't hurt me, like, or I don't want this karma. It doesn't work because, if we have done something to get that karma, then there's going to be a repercussion to it. But the law of forgiveness can help us to overcome that. Okay. Now, the next one it says is that Uriel, Archangel Uriel, is also the archangel of prophecy. And through visions, dreams, and sudden perceptions, he can provide insights to us. So, if we are looking at a particular problem and we are looking for a solution, what I often have done is I have started to write down the questions, and then over the course of the next few days, try to understand whatever comes to my mind about that, and then again look at it. So if you've seen other sessions with me, you'll notice that I tend to use a lot of pen and paper. I like to write things down because what I've realized is sometimes the insight comes and then we miss it, right? Now, what I love is also the beautiful line at the last two lines at the bottom, where it says that if we are interested in developing our intuition, then Archangel Uriel gives us ongoing assistance. Now, ongoing assistance is something that's going to come once Archangel Uriel already knows that we are truly, truly interested, right? Which means that when we ask a question to Archangel Uriel, then we should also be prepared to receive the answer. So it's the receive the answer bit that I really want to focus on. So for today, let's just close our eyes for a bit. Let's be aware of what is it that we are looking for, solutions, answers. Just ask one question for now, something that we are wanting a solution to. And then while we meditate, we can, be receptive, perceptive of the answer. Okay. Please connect your tongue to the palate. Let's be aware. Let's raise our hands in blessing position. Let us bless the entire planet Earth. Let's invoke to Archangel Uriel for guidance on whatever is happening with the planet right now and for us in our individual lives. What is it that we can do? Let's bless everyone with divine guidance. Let's be grateful to the angelic realm for their help. Let's be grateful to the angelic realm for wisdom. We can also invoke to our angels to communicate with us in a manner that we can understand. Let's bless our financial targets, our health targets, our relationship targets, and our spiritual targets. Let's visualize our homes. Let's invoke to the archangels to surround our home. Archangel Uriel in the front, Archangel Raphael at the back, Archangel Michael at the right, and Archangel Gabriel at the left. Visualize the angels protecting us, protecting our home, and filling our home with all kinds of beautiful energy of guidance, healing, protection, and the presence of God. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let's also be grateful for all the healing that we have received today through the great ones, through our teacher, Master CHOA Kok Sui. Healing is made possible by Archangel Raphael. Let's be grateful to Archangel Raphael for all the healing that we have received. Thank you for helping us to be channels of healing. Let's also bless the target of the Pranic Healing School to have one Pranic healer per family. Once we have one healer per family, every family is taken care of. So let's invoke to Archangel Uriel to guide us to the right center for us, where we can learn pranic healing and how we can practice pranic healing. Archangel Uriel, we hereby invoke for your divine blessings and guidance to help us to be an instrument of healing for the entire planet and for our family. We thank you in full faith. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Let's just be quiet for a few seconds and wait for guidance. Okay, let's massage our face. So let's be aware that if we haven't received the guidance yet, that doesn't mean it won't come. It will come. Just be aware of the next 24 hours and let's see what comes in. Okay, so let's massage our body. Someone's asking, thank you everyone for joining. I hope you had a good session. And those of us who are watching this later, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just for your information, we have meditation every day at 4 o'clock Indian Standard Time. We also do mass healing for the group, whoever is present during that time. So if you wish to take a healing, you are most welcome to join us at 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time. You can send us a message on the number provided in the text below. Thank you. Bye.